Hey guys, welcome back to Ernest Cole Fishing. I am, as always, the bass man Ernest Cole, and we are continuing the series on building our own rod. Now, as you saw in the last episodes, I installed the reel seat, the handles, the butt grip, the foregrip, and I have done the process of putting the guides on and actually wrapping those guides in threads. Now, I didn't show that process simply because I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, and it was very difficult to get the hang of. You can see by my hook keeper here, that is kind of like weaving a basket. I would kind of akin that to, and you can see I've got thread everywhere on my table here. That was a difficult process. I did kind of get better at it by the time I was done. I had 10 guides and a hook keeper, and I actually wrapped my tip top, which a lot of companies don't do, and some of my rods don't have that on there, but I think it gives it a better aesthetic look, and kind of holds that top in place, because we've all cast a rod and the top come out and it's kind of annoying. But anyway, that's why I done that. Now comes the process that I am really excited about. We're actually going to apply the finish to this rod. I've got it set up here in my rod dryer. You can see installed my stickers. It's a little crooked there and on the end, but everything is done. Wrapping those guys, like I said, was pretty tough, and I do have some mistakes. Some of my threads got a little gap in it here and there. It's okay, it's my first rod. I'm not looking for perfection, but just want them to get, they're on there, and I got a good hold. As soon as I put the epoxy on the finish, it's going to be rock solid. But there are a few mistakes here and there. I didn't make it fancy. I didn't put any fancy trim on here, but I just wanted to build my first rod and understand the process. And I'm telling you guys, this was a extremely fun project. If you've ever wondered about how rods are built or wanted to build your own rod, then I would advise each and every one of you to buy you a kit from Mudhole, or there's some other companies out there as well that sell those. But this was an extremely rewarding process, and I can't wait to get out on the water this weekend and give this a try. So with that being said, I'm going to get set up with my finish. Probably won't explain too much of it as I'm going. Well, I might. Tell you what, I'll do this right here and do this right here and explain that process to you so you guys can see that and see what goes into that. But let me get set up and I'll come back with you in just a second. Okay, I've got all of my materials that I think I'm going to need here. I've got my 2-part epoxy. This is Pro Coat epoxy. It comes in a 12 milliliter syringe in part A and part B. A brush. This is a smaller brush. I don't know if I'll need it or not. It was just one I had lying around. Stir stick and a little cup to dispense it in. So not going to get too crazy with this. I think as 12 milliliters, I'm going to use 2 milliliters each of hardener and resin, just to be kind of a good starting point. I don't know how far this will go or how much I'll need. I've got 12 here. I'm not going to mix up 6 because I think that'll be way too much. So we're going to start with 2 and go from there. Let's see here. There is 2 of the resin of hardener. I'm not sure which one's which. Two of the other part, whichever one it is. That doesn't look like a lot. Let's go 2 more of each, and that should be adequate. Yeah, I think that'll be plenty. Maybe more than enough. First rod build, who knows how it's going to go. So, all right. Now, per the instructions, you don't whip it. You just kind of kind of go around and around for about 3 minutes, because if you whip it, it's going to get bubbles in here, and it's not what you want for sure in a resin. I know that. I've worked with resins on just, odd end projects around here. So I'm just going to stir this for about 3 minutes. I will save you the dullness. Okay guys, we've mixed this for 3 minutes. I do have some bubbles, but I don't think there's anything I could have done to avoid that. It's just the nature of stirring. So I think where I'm going to start is right here in front of me. Why not? So get that out onto the thing, put it on my little paper towel, and let it fall everywhere. All right, turn the wrapper on, and here we go. We'll start a little bit at a time, because I don't know how this is going to go. Right, guys, I'm trying to get this on there and get as a consistent thickness as I can. Nice clean edges. This goes on really easy, and with this dryer here, really helps to be able to get close to the edge. Have a nice finished edge here. Alright guys, I'm going to keep going with this and do this whole rod, and I'll come back later when I get done, because I'm going to run some heat over this when I get through. If you've ever worked with resins or epoxies, you know that you can run some heat over it once you get through, and it'll kind of take off those bubbles. So we'll do that here very shortly, and I'll bring you guys back for that. Alright guys, I'm just kind of visually going over this. I got every one of them finished up with the epoxy. I'm just kind of looking, make sure I got just about every one of them. The stuff is kind of getting a little gummy. It's very hot here in Mississippi, as you well know. But I'm just kind of making sure I don't have any bare spots or any dry spots on here. I think I pretty much got it. Actually, that epoxy does generate some heat. That cup was getting a little warm in my hand there. I do notice some mistakes wrapping wise. I had some frays and some thread that's kind of poking through the epoxy. It's no big deal. I'm not going to worry too much about that. You guys may be able to see some on the end, like right there. The epoxy is soaked in. I'm not really concerned about that too much. But what I'm going to take now is an alcohol burner that I've got with some denatured alcohol in it. That's going to heat that up and get that epoxy and get any kind of little tiny air bubbles out. And that should be about it. We'll let it dry. So let me do that right quick, and I'll show you guys how to do that. Guys, you may see here some little droops underneath here. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. That's actually when you heat up that resin, it kind of gets a little watery again, and it may droop a little bit. That's why I just kind of going back and just touching up just a few spots where that happens, and it kind of evens out the coat. I don't want any droops in this. I don't think there should be. This is a self-leveling epoxy, so I don't think there's going to be any issues with that. And I think that may be good. Well guys, I am going to call that done. I have laid down some epoxy on these, and it all looks like I got a good coat, consistent coat on everything. I've ran my alcohol burner and got rid of any bubbles. I'm sure once I get done I'm going to see some mistakes, but I'm going to call that done and see how this turns out. I'm sure the finish, by looking at it right now, it's going to be just, you know, for a first time build, this rod's going to look pretty nice. I'm very pleased with it. I'm very, very pleased with the whole process. You know, like I said earlier, of course, I do see some mistakes. Minor stuff, but some other people may not even notice, but I do. But anyway, that's going to be it for this issue, or excuse me, this episode, not issue. So, the next time you guys see me or picture me, hopefully you'll see me on the water using this rod. And I can't be more excited. Today is Thursday. I'm going to let this dry tomorrow, and hopefully Saturday morning I'm going to be out on Pickwick Lake, and I'm going to be trying this rod out. I'll probably do a separate video of fishing with this out on the water and kind of my review and how it performs and what I like and what maybe I don't like, if I don't like anything about it. And look forward to the next build. I've already got my eyes on 2 or 3 other builds. This is just an amazing experience that I've had. Couldn't be more happy with it. All right, I'm going to quit rambling. I'll see you guys on the next episode where we'll be back out on the water. A couple folks I want to say thank you to. Those that inspired me and those who I looked at. There are several YouTubers that I've watched, mud holes videos I watched a bunch. I actually got this idea several years ago, never did do anything with it, and I watched Benjamin Nowak. Actually, he built his own rod. I think he built a drop shot rod for himself. He went through the process and I really enjoyed it, so thanks to Ben for the inspiration. But with that being said, mud hole, thanks to everybody who has ever worked with me. And guys, if you like this series, please smash that subscribe button. Throw me a like, share, comment, the whole shebang. I'm the Bass Man, Ernest, and we'll see you guys down the road.